Yep, so that was what happened.
If you please rise and join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning. Moines County Board of Supervisors, May 28th, 2024. Are there any changes to the tentative agenda? Sarah? Oh, we have an agenda. Department heads, elected officials. Sarah Doty, Des Moines County Auditor.
Good morning. Rural cleanup ends the 8th of June, so there's a little bit of time left for that. Absentee voting is happening in the office right now, and we are open this coming Saturday, June 1st, from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then the election is the following Tuesday on the 4th. Other than that, business as usual.
Thanks, Sarah. Colin Gerst, IT.
Good morning. Had a couple days off last week, so that was pretty nice. But
Don't get used to it.
getting up to speed back here today, but nothing really new to report. Just keeping busy like always. So.
Thanks, Colin. Kevin Glendenny, Des Moines County Sheriff.
Hi, good morning. Plenty going on. We've had a pretty busy week. We ran an operation with Burlington PD, West Burlington PD, the Sheriff's Office, and the United States Marshal's Office, essentially to clean up some violent offender warrants, resulting in about 20-ish arrests last week. That caused a pretty big influx in our jail population. We went from 83 to 97 from last Tuesday to this Tuesday. So that resulted in about 17 being out of county today. Our school resource officers are back for the summer. School's done in Minneapolis and Manville, so we're glad to have them. Right now we could use the help, and it's kind of a nice change of pace for them and to see them back. But other than that, that's about all we got going.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Yep.
Rodney Buissner, Maintenance.
Good morning. Really nothing new to report. Have an agenda item this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jared Lasser, Land Use.
Morning. Land use, not a whole lot going on right now. Well, I mean, well, nothing, at least for the agenda. Just keeping busy as usual. We have one subdivision out for review and probably a couple more here shortly. I would imagine coming through here that I'm aware of. But did want to take some time to introduce Jack Swarm. He just started as a planner in the planning department at the Regional Planning Commission. He's going to be helping out with a lot of stuff, but in particular, he has a background working with land use. He used to be the zoning administrator for the city of Mount Pleasant. So while Zach and I will continue to primarily handle the land use matters for the county, at some point you might have Jack assisting with that, so you might see him somewhere along the way here. So I figured I'd bring him here and introduce you to him and vice versa, and look forward to working with him in the future here. So that's all I have to report, unless you have any questions for Jack.
Nice to meet you, Jack.
Nice to meet you,
Look forward
too.
to working with you.
I do too, thank you.
Heard good things about you.
Well, that's good, let's keep the bad ones quiet.
Never heard bad. Brent says you're a top-notch person.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
It's very nice of them.
yeah.
Cheryl McVeigh, Budget Director. I'll bet you have an agenda item.
You bet correctly. You win today.
Shannon Prado, Emergency Management.
Well, it has been just a few months of just weather, so I have nothing really new to add other than it's just been exhausting. So I know everyone's pretty tired of the sirens, so just keep saying the same thing over and over again. Yeah.
Good to see that you're
That's
above
all I
water.
have.
You appear to be doing just fine.
Man. Yeah, so I've had a lot of inquiries about the sirens, about why they're going off, why they're not going off. We did have some issues with the sirens on Friday, so I will be in touch with Burlington about that. But
If the sirens go off, it's either a tornado warning, it's winds in excess of 70 miles an hour, or
Golf ball size hail.
golf ball size hail. Is that correct?
or severe
severe thunderstorm. Is that countywide or in that? Okay.
So that is what's in question, that I've had a lot of question about, is the fact that they go off countywide. So we've had a lot of activity in the northern part of the county, and they go off countywide. There's been a lot of discussion about this, so people don't understand that this decision is brought down from the National Weather Service. It's brought down from Homeland Security, and Emergency Management. It's basically because, as we all know, weather can change at any minute. And so we would hate to set them off in the northern part of the county and then have the storm turn and hit West Burlington, and then you say, well, why didn't you set the sirens off? And people are tired of hearing them, and I get that. And I mean, this has been a historical season of storms in the state of Iowa. We are outranking every state in the county for storms. So if you've heard the sirens a lot, that's because you have. So.
Perhaps they should write a strongly worded letter to the Department of Homeland Security.
Well, I've gotten
Sure,
a few
that
of
would
those
work.
myself, maybe I should just forward them on. You know, they're an outdoor warning system. They are not to tell you exactly what is happening. They are an initial warning system if you are outside. If you're outside, they are to tell you to get inside, find another source, and figure out what's going on. You get inside, you find out, oh, it's not near me. You can keep going about your sunny day, but that's your prerogative. So,
At least somebody reminded you to look.
yes, exactly. So that I'm hoping, saying a little prayer to myself that the weather will slow down.
I think we'll
Please.
share that prayer with you.
Please. For the sake of your new coordinator.
Thank
That's
you.
all I have, thank you.
Ken Heineman, Mental Health Agency of Southeast Iowa.
Good morning. I don't have much to report. I do see there's an agenda item for the lease of the building that we enjoy, so Rodney's always had a good handle on that. I'll be anxious to hear about that, so that's about it.
Thank you, Ken. Angie Vaughn, Safety.
Good morning. I really don't have a lot to share. Just keeping busy, unfortunately.
Well, not a lot to share is good news from the Safety Department. Thanks, Angie. Lisa Schaefer, Des Moines County Attorney.
You heard about Kevin's busy week, well, it all rolls downhill.
That's
we
an
have
interesting
personnel
mental
action.
picture, how that works.
Jump scared me.
And then I have a personnel action.
Thank you, Lisa. Brian Carter, Des Moines County Engineer.
Good morning. So Golf Course Road is still closed, certainly in the very tail end of everything. Hopefully with the drier weather, they can get back to backfilling. Clearly some of the stuff, all the concrete is poured, so they can get some stuff backfilled and make progress this week. I'd like to think it could be open this week, but I'm not gonna sit here and guarantee it either. So when it does open, I'll let you know. We may even do a press release just to let everybody know widespread, but otherwise it does look good there, and look forward to it being open. And then I'll flip right around to more closings. Our bridge contractor contacted us last week, and he's going to close Highway 99 bridge, the far north bridge, over Yellow Springs Creek. They're gonna close that on Thursday of this week. So, which is in the time frame I've been saying forever. Last week, we thought it was gonna move to the first week of June altogether, but their demo contractor is ready to move in, so they're gonna go ahead and start that one. And it won't be terribly long after that. I don't have a time frame yet, but it won't be terribly long after that before they come along and close Upper Flint Bridge, so they can of course start demo on that. So we will have both of those closed, which again, we've known all along, we've said all along, it's been in the paper. That shouldn't catch too many people off guard. but, so that's coming. And, so we had hoped to have Golf Course Road done before Upper Flint went closed, and I think we're gonna get there. But unfortunately, we're gonna close Upper Flint right when, not long after Golf Course opens, but yeah, it's progress we need actually. We wanna see both those bridges get going and try to get them open sometime on the very early into harvest, which with it being kind of a late planting season, we should hit that, and be doing good on that end, so. So you will hear, we'll do a press release this week. I sent out a few letters. We have a detour route up there on the gravel roads that is going to get dust control, just things that happen that are beyond everybody's control. The major supplier for dust control for that product in Chicago just up and shut down to do maintenance, which is a terrible time of year, being as this is when most dust control gets put down. And so our provider is either looking for a new supplier, trying to figure out if they can do something. So I sent out letters to let landowners know that we are still planning on doing dust control. Some of it might get done this week, some of it might be, or else we'll put it down as soon as it's available. It's kind of an unknown at this point. I couldn't tell you one way or the other, but just as a heads up, wanted to let those folks that live on that detour route know what's going on. That things might change a little bit, but either way, they'll close that on Thursday. They'll set up a detour, which will use our gravel roads. Yeah, we'll move on towards a couple bridge construction projects. I'll let you know when I know more about the Upper Flint project. So beyond that, plenty of stuff going on. We're actively working on a set of plans for both actually the Highway 99 asphalt job for next summer is almost ready to go to the DOT. Devin's about done with those and send them off to DOT for review, and then he'll kick right into, already has kicked into the Highway 34 plans. So full Highway 34, I guess. So there's a lot of stuff going on, but that's what you want. That's what we're doing. So anyway, I'm sure I'm forgetting something else, but if you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
I'm sure the public's learned by now that if there's any surprises in the Des Moines County infrastructure, to contact the supervisor, Campbell.
Yeah.
What's your number again, Tom?
We have installed the big billboards with his picture and phone number. So.
Good work. Thank you, Brian. I don't think I missed anybody.
I did forget one thing. Next week's meeting will be on Wednesday due to the election being on Tuesday.
I might not be here next week.
Okay, we can talk about it.
Okay.
We changed that at the beginning of the year when we did the schedule.
Yeah, I forgot.
It's okay.
Anyway, so yeah.
That's okay.
Okay. Correspondence. Either of you gentlemen received any correspondence?
I have none.
We did. We received, we did two here. Yeah, we got two. From the city of Burlington. Dear sir or madam, I hope this letter finds you well. I'm writing to inform you about an upcoming project that will impact your neighborhood and to provide you with important details regarding its scope and timeline. The city of Burlington is undertaking the Agency Street Reconstruction Project, which will involve the reconstruction of Agency Street from Melrose Court to Curran Street. The purpose of this project is to enhance the safety, accessibility, and infrastructure of our community. Key aspects of the project include adjusting the roadway configuration from 2 lanes in each direction to 1 lane in each direction with the center turn lane. Installing sidewalks on the north side of the street to improve pedestrian safety and accessibility. Bringing all curb ramps at each street crossing up to ADA compliance to ensure accessibility for individuals with disabilities. Making minor storm sewer improvements in areas of poor condition to manage stormwater runoff effectively. To provide residents with more information about this project, the county has created a dedicated website which can be accessed via www.burlingtoniowa.org/projects. On the website, you will find detailed information about the project scope,
timeline, construction updates, and contact information for any inquiries or concerns you may have. Additionally, we invite you to attend a public information meeting on Wednesday, May 29th at the Burlington Public Library. The meeting will be held in meeting rooms A and B. Turn left after entering the building at 5 p.m. This meeting will provide an opportunity for residents to learn more about the project, ask questions, and share any feedback or concerns they may have. Your participation and input are valuable as we work together to improve our neighborhood's infrastructure. We encourage you to visit the project website and attend the public information meeting for ongoing updates and information. Thank you for your attention to this matter. If you have any questions or require further assistance, please do not hesitate to contact me via email. Jesse Howe, Deputy Public Works Director. I think this was probably just went to property owners who were affected by that, and we would be one of those via the new public health building. And we received from the Federal Emergency Management Agency several pages of a letter regarding its FEMA notice of a 90-day approval period for anybody wanting to appeal the revised flood insurance rate map. I spoke to Zach James of Southeast Iowa Regional Planning about this, and he informs me that it has minimal effect on Des Moines County. And unless somebody really wants me to try to read this, and I don't see any hands popping up, we're gonna stamp it and call it good.
I can give a quick summary. It's basically the South County on. It's not the whole county. It's down by Snake River, and it's also some areas in Lee County too. So.
Power through, Jared.
Oh, shoot. Thanks, Jared. Okay. We will proceed to discussion and vote. We need to open a public hearing.
Move to approve. Go for a public hearing for
Second.
FY '24 budget amendment.
Second. Sarah?
Jim Carrey,
Yeah.
Shane McCampbell.
Yes.
Tom Brooker.
Yes. We are fortunate enough to have the budget director with us this morning. She will probably walk us through this.
I'll give you a quick summary, how's that? So the sheriff is requesting $59,571 to be amended to their budget. That's for 2 abandoned vehicles that they sold, and then they transferred the funds to the DOT. So that's a wash, that was $23,200. Fuel for $7,371, a GTSB grant for $10,000, so that has matching revenue. And then the Luna expenses, that's our canine dog, for $19,000, and that came out of Fund 9, which is a reserve fund. So then conservation.
That's mostly donations, isn't it?
Yes. So, conservation is asking for $382,118. They have revenue to offset that of $268,356. Unless you guys want me to read the whole list, I'll just.
Well, I think the revenue, that doesn't include a grant, does it, a reimbursement grant?
That's revenue from Partners for Conservation Foundation, local community organizations, and the sale of timber. So that's to help offset that campground expansion and accessibility improvements out of Big Hollow. So they also, in with that total is remodeling for Stars Cave, that was $14,989. FEMA money, they received $66,765 in FEMA revenue, and are asking for an additional $25,280 for re-rocking at Sullivan Slough, Tama, and Hawkeye Dolby. So that's kind of a summary of all their requests. Secondary roads is asking for $95,000. That's for equipment maintenance and services for projects and invoices that carried over from last fiscal year. And then the big chunk of this request is $2,065,512. which is the remaining ARPA funds. We've already received the money, we just thought, not knowing how much the expenses will be that'll come in for the local health building, we're just putting the total amount in the budget for this year, just in case they.
It's already included in next year's budget, this is just moving it forward. If we don't have a budgeted this year, we don't have spending authority. In other words, if we get a $10,000 grant tomorrow to spend a week from today, we have to have a budget amendment to spend it.
This is
to get
just a
spending
safety
authority.
net, is what I would call it, just so we have the money in this year's budget, just in case we get close to going over what we budgeted originally. So, and then solid waste, 15,000 additional for those roll-off fees that keep increasing all the time, so. That's the total revenue is $301,556. Total expenses, $2,617,201.
Okay, if there's anybody listening who would like to comment, online, you can email the Board of Supervisors at board@dmcounty.com, that's BOARD@dmcounty.com. Or you can call 319-753-8203, extension 4, that's 319-753-8203, extension 4. We'll give you 2 minutes to initiate that call or email if you have any comments on the for the public hearing on the budget amendment. In the meantime, is there anybody in the audience that has any comments or questions?
I just have one question.
Sure.
About the ARPA funds, that $2,065,512, that is all going to the health department project? There isn't
No,
any other?
No, there's more, besides the health department, I don't remember how much we still on that. We've got 2 bridges. I believe there might be a couple of other items that haven't been fully billed yet, and I'm not sure. But no, it is not all
Not
for
all,
the,
just the-
not all for the,
Right.
we just,
So
the
it'll be on
bridge
the
Brian
RMS
mentioned that we're
program.
starting next week. I believe you said they were
Well,
just,
so with our bridges starting, we didn't know when they were gonna start, and with public health making good progress, we just discussed internally that we better put it all in, cause we're not sure when the invoices will come along.
Right.
So between this year and next year, it's all getting spent, and the big expenditures are public health and 2 bridges that are remaining. But they did stuff for law enforcement radios, they did some stuff for the auditor's office, there were some other expenditures previously
Okay.
that were a little bit smaller scale, I guess, compared to these.
But it isn't all just health department?
Right, it's not.
no, I can't tell you how much
I'm
the
sure
health
all
department's
this is-
actually been billed. But it's only the ARPA money, that's it. And we have more ARPA money than the health department was gonna cost.
Okay.
That's why we had other expenditures.
I'm sure those are decisions that were made predating me.
Oh,
That's why
oh,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
not
No,
sure.
they were, we discussed it,
There's a
at
list.
length.
Yeah, I can give you a list if you want.
Oh, that'd be great,
Yeah, see
yeah.
me after the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sarah, did you get any emails or calls?
I did not receive anything in the auditor's office.
Okay. How are we coming on our 2 minutes?
Well, we'll check right now. We are just, I'll stop it right now, it's done.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to close public hearing for the FY '24 budget amendment.
Second.
Sarah?
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. Now we have a resolution to adopt. Approve the 2024 budget amendment.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Sarah?
Shane McCampbell,
Yeah.
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. We have a lease agreement with the Mental Health Agency of Southeast Iowa. I believe Mr. Moisner addressed this. This was referred to by Mr. Hyman.
Yep. Two more, this is the lease agreement, like I say, with the mental health agency of Southeast Iowa. It's the same lease agreement we had that was called the SEAL region. So really, it's basically the same lease agreement, just changed the dates and some wording. There's a little bit of change in the square footage, the overall amount. So last year was $5,220 for the approximately 522 square feet that they use for the year. So I believe there's gonna be a little bit of change in some of that. So this agreement is for $4,420 annually for that space. So they'll be using approximately 522 square foot for 6 months and 420 square foot for the other 6 months. Just kind of broke it down.
Because of my retirement mainly,
Yeah.
at the end of the year, so.
Oh,
They won't need my
congratulations, then you
office.
haven't gotten away yet.
So again, leaving that space, there's a little bit of less square footage on the last 6 months of the agreement, so that's why the change in the agreement. But other than that, everything else is pretty much the same.
Thank you, Rodney.
Thank you.
I would entertain a motion to approve the lease agreement.
Move to approve the lease agreement with mental health agency in Southeast Iowa.
Second.
Sarah?
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Shane McCampbell,
Yep.
Tom Broker.
Yes.
Make sure you got good tires on the motorcycle when you retire, Ken.
Yep,
I hear you plan on taking a lot of trips on it.
I hope so, yeah, yep.
We have payroll reimbursement claims, the amount of $230.40, and non-cash taxable reimbursement claims in the amount of $16.41.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Sarah?
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. We have personnel actions. One for the recorder. Renee Wellborn, second deputy, 42.86 hours of unpaid time.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Sarah?
Shane McCampbell,
Yep.
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. We have one for public health. Emily Race, a CNA, a new hire, part-time CNA, 24 hours per week, pay rate $16 an hour, effective May 21st, 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Sarah?
Shane McCampbell,
Yes, please.
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. Sheriff's Office. Mary Bite, Civil Administrative Assistant. This is a promotion for Mary Bike. Previous rate was $41,093.46. The new rate is $51,378.65.
Move to approve?
Second.
Sarah?
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. Have one for the county attorney. Catherine Gibb, administrative assistant. This is going from full-time to part-time.
And I'll just explain this. Kathy has some family matters that just prohibit her from staying on full-time. But she has agreed to stay on part-time until we can get a full-time replacement for her. So she can handle things like payroll. Apparently other people in my office are worried about that. And taking care of some of the more administrative things, payroll, accounts payable, that no one else in the office has time to do. But we do foresee replacing her sometime this summer. But she has graciously agreed to stay on for a couple half days a week, just to kind of keep the wheels spinning on the administrative side.
Thank you, we appreciate that, and we appreciate your explanation.
Move to approve?
Second.
Sarah?
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yep. We have minutes for the regular meeting of May 21st, 2024.
Motion to approve minutes.
Second.
Sarah?
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. Is there any other business?
I have none.
Have none. Future agenda items. Committee reports.
I had community action, and we just finished with the DRDP, it's Desired Results Development Profile Assessment, and all our targets were met, which is good news. And I learned something interesting. I wanted to say that they say that one of the biggest indicators of high school kids dropping out of school is their attendance in kindergarten, which I was really shocked to hear that. But so if you got kids in kindergarten, make sure they're there every day. You don't want them to drop out of school. That's all I got.
I can't remember if I went to kindergarten or not. It's so long.
Oh, I went.
He didn't drop out though, they kicked him out.
I had a regional planning executive board meeting, and we went over the budget, and we approved the budget to send to the full board, and the full board adopted the budget. And that's all I had.
I have no committee reports. Public input. If anybody from the public would like to address the board, you can email the Board of Supervisors at board@dmcounty.com. That's BOARD@dmcounty.com. Or you can call 319-753-8203, extension 4. That's 319-753-8203, extension 4. We'll give you a couple minutes to initiate that email or call. In the meantime, is there anybody in attendance who would like to address the board?
Ryan Nicaraki here, Midwest Rotary Group. I'm working with Sarah, and I believe.
And I truly apologize, but just for the record, your name and your address, that you're a Des Moines County resident.
Yep, Ryan Nicaraki, 7113 South Gear Avenue, Burlington. I'm a county guy, so appreciate it.
Zoning Commission Chairman.
What's that?
Chairman of the Zoning Commission.
Yep, Zoning Commission Chair, yep. So I'm here working with Sarah on, we have an agreement, we're gonna be purchasing the Sundown Apartments and applying for some workforce housing tax credits. So you will probably be hearing from Sarah with a resolution coming forth next week, hopefully. And I won't be able to make it, but my partner, John Mercer, who you may know will be here tomorrow, or next Wednesday, to go over that. So we're looking at buying those apartments, Sundown off Memorial Park Road, and doing some major renovations to those. We need some more affordable housing, and that being in the county is why I'm here to ask for your guys' support next week. So, thanks.
Thank you, Mr. McCartney. Anybody else? Can't be much. Oh, Colin Gerst, thank you.
Colin Gerst, 1614 Cambridge Drive, here in Burlington. Over the weekend, I finally got around to getting down to the new park here in Burlington and taking my girls down there. And I gotta say, I've seen a lot of pictures of it online, but it was phenomenal. It's an amazing park. It's packed to the brim. A lot of folks out there with it being so nice out and everything. But I did want to say thank you to the board, for contributing some county dollars to that. It's something that I think is duly needed and something that helps keep family in the area. And I think it's a great thing. Out of all the stuff the county tax dollars get spent on, that for me is 100%. So, and I appreciate the city putting everything in to get that going. So I just wanted to say real quick, thank you for applying those dollars to that and making that happen. So
I scouted that out a few days ago myself. My grandchildren are gonna be up here.
Did you get down the slide?
It's awesome.
No, I didn't go down the slide. I didn't want anybody to have to send fire and rescue. But I know where to go and where to park now, so that I'll have some smaller relatives that will enjoy that.
It's nice. It's really
It
nice.
is nice. It's awesome.
Colin, did you make it down the slide?
No, I didn't. Same thing, then when the firemen come there.
Burlington's mayor went down the slide on opening day.
I saw that picture.
Just saying.
Okay. With an aye, we're adjourned. We are adjourned.
I'll
We have a
email
work
you.
session with,
I'll let you have
emergency
my
work session with emergency management in regards to RAGBRAI.
Yes.
So Shannon Prado, we'll turn the floor over to you.
Okay. So I am tasked with finding emergency shelters for disaster.
You can sit down if you want to. But you're welcome to stand wherever makes you comfortable.
Okay, for potential disaster locations, such as, if there's a tornado, if there's severe weather, et cetera, et cetera. So, of course, along 99, there just isn't a whole lot there. I have contacted, Two Rivers Levee, in Drainage District. They do have a Morton building there. And so we've been given the blessing to use that. But otherwise, are you safer in a pole barn or are you safer in a ditch? It depends,
Depends
I
on
guess.
where the storm goes.
Yeah, but if I'm looking specifically at this area at Burlington, of course, this is the ending point here, right at the waterfront. So this will be kind of more where there's a concentrated amount of people. So I'm just trying to think of things here. So the Memorial Auditorium, I've gotten secured for that. I've spoken to the city of Burlington. They've said that we can use the library if we need to. I've spoken to Rodney, who's spoken to his church. They've said that that's okay. But then we were thinking maybe the courthouse, if we could open the courthouse in the event of a disaster. So I just wanted to talk to you about it. I also reached out to the Capitol Theater, haven't heard back from them yet.
The courthouse would depend on the hours, wouldn't it, Rodney?
And can we secure the,
Or
all the?
what, how do we do that?
Well, I'm assuming they're gonna be coming in on a Saturday, so everything would be locked up.
Yeah.
So that if there was a potential storm, whatever, somebody, either me or.
Somebody has to get down
whoever's
here and
on
unlock
call
the
would be
doors.
here to- Yeah, just unlock the exterior doors, so all the interior doors should be locked and secure, so you shouldn't have to worry about anybody going into the offices. Obviously, the bathrooms are unlocked, people can use the restrooms. I would say any of the offices, there really shouldn't be any worry about getting into them, obviously unless they have a badge with access, so, that's a good part about that, so they could access the hallways and the basement. I don't know, we wouldn't be able to hold a lot of people, but, I mean, in a severe case, storm or whatever, we could pack quite a few on the lower levels.
You haven't got any immediate problems with it, or other than somebody would have to come down and open it up and,
Yeah,
and lock it down again.
Yeah, just walk through and make sure everybody's out when it's done, so. I guess the one thing I asked her about, I guess, would be insurance. If there was a bad storm, we had people here and something did happen. I don't know insurance-wise what that looks like, but.
Yeah, so that's what Two Rivers, Levee District did ask me. And when I brought that question back to RAGBRAI, they were surprised to hear that question. I guess they've never heard that before.
Really?
I guess not. They said that their participants do sign a waiver basically saying that whatever happens to them, nobody is liable except for themselves. But there are a lot of people who just jump into RAGBRAI without registering, and obviously you can't tell who's who and who's what. And then as you're like packing people into a building, you're not gonna be like, let me see your registration. So that would be.
This guy's calling. You're out.
You look a little shaky.
I don't think you
absolutely
registered.
not.
You gotta see outside, sorry.
So that is definitely that's a risk that you would take, but they did assure me and say that this has never happened. Doesn't mean it couldn't happen, but they said.
The tornadoes never hit.
No,
the RAGBRAI
no,
was in.
that somebody has gone and sued RAGBRAI for somebody giving them shelter during a storm.
I don't have a problem giving them a shelter at all. And as far as insurance goes, you know, I don't think there's anybody that would, if they did sue you, I don't think there's a jury that would find them guilty because you let them in out of the.
Yeah.
Really wouldn't be a whole lot different than if it happened during the week.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, while business hours.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
same difference.
It would be the same thing if you had, public in the building as well. But, like I said,
So-
I really don't think we have really too much to worry about as far as, like offices or whatever, everything's pretty well locked down, so.
I would think the
I'm okay with
auditorium's
it
gonna
if
get
you
most of
guys
the
are
action
okay.
anyways too, but.
Yeah, so the auditorium can hold, I think, it's on my list, I don't remember, but I wanna say like 4,500
Oh,
people.
really?
So it holds a pretty good amount of people, but I just wanted to have some other options in the event that we needed them.
Would, one of your sheriff staff over there that'd be working over there be willing to come over here and open it up?
Yeah, so our plan for the day is going to be, we'll be pretty heavily up in Mediapolis.
Yeah.
And Burlington's really gonna be, there's gonna be a lot of vehicles, trailers here, campers. And what the information we're getting is they're gonna want to get here and get out. And somewhere around between like 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock, it's gonna probably be pretty busy downtown with everybody trying to just leave town. Like, we don't anticipate people to be hanging out, being the last day. So we will be up in Mediapolis, and we also have county fair that day. That said, if there is an emergency, it's a Saturday.
Yeah.
So if there's an emergency, we'll be glad to come down and get access. But we will be at those locations pretty.
I didn't know if somebody'd be over there or not.
I doubt that we'll have somebody actually just at the office.
Yeah.
If they are, it'll be by chance. But if there's an emergency down here, we'll be glad to have that as part of the plan. How does that information get distributed to the riders of locations?
So I have an emergency operations plan for RACRI that I'm just finalizing. I'm waiting for Mediapolis to give me their emergency shelters. And then finalizing mine. I'm supposed to have that done by June 1st. And then they are supposed to distribute that to the riders, so the riders.
And there's a
are supposed to-
website too that riders can go on, before they get started, stuff that has all this information and
For
stuff.
each town, correct.
Yeah.
And so that's how they'll have that. And then if day of, there's, let's say tornado, whatever, something coming, severe weather, the sirens will sound. And then it's up to the individual towns, or if there's fire trucks, police vehicles, it's up to them to go over their speaker system or whatever it may be, and to try to corral the RAGBRAI people to the closest shelter location. Again, if they're on 99, they're gonna have to find a ditch
Tough
or
location.
go knock on somebody's door and hope for the best. Just the route that they chose is pretty rural, so, but,
Not much you can do for people strung 20 miles along the road.
yeah, I mean, there's just not much there. I drove up and down that road and it's literally just barns, so.
I can verify that.
There's just not much. There's really not much.
But that's most of Iowa. I mean, when you talk about this, I mean,
Yeah.
there's some inherent risk in that every year they do this, and a bunch of other events for that matter. So, that's, and they also have a gravel route, so
Yeah.
some of them may be coming down Irish Ridge and
Right.
cutting over across Stony Hollow and be even more rural and more isolated,
Yeah.
and that's just, that's the
The name of it.
way it is.
Yeah, yeah, so, I have the majority of the shelters are in Burlington, Minneapolis, like I said, they'll have shelters listed for Minneapolis. But I've never seen a RAGBRAI, I've never been a part of a RAGBRAI, so Minneapolis will be like a breakfast town, is what they said, so the riders will stop there and eat breakfast, and then they'll keep going, right?
Some will stop, some
Potentially.
won't. It's a
Yeah.
mix. It's a gigantic mix.
Yeah, but they all, when they get here, they all dip their bikes into the Mississippi, so I mean, there'll be, everybody doing that, they get picked
It,
back.
it is a shorter ride for the last day too, and actually a little easier ride, so my guess is that if there are weather concerns, some of them might manage at Mount Pleasant or wherever they're standing, or they're staying in the vicinity of Mount Pleasant, they might manage when they leave to make this ride, or if it's that severe and it's gonna be all day, I wouldn't be shocked to see some get picked up in Mount Pleasant and then cut rid of the day if they're worried about that. So that is one bonus, they don't have 100 miles to ride on the last day.
And it's no party, so nobody's counting on staying around all day, and they'll,
Yeah.
someone will be here in the morning to get dipped and.
Right.
Yeah, then that's exactly what happens, the diehard ones are real early. And then the ones that were hungover are coming along at the end, and there's everybody in between.
Yeah.
It strings out for a while. I have no intentions of being anywhere near Mediapolis Road. I'll go the other direction from my house.
So your main concern is can you use the courthouse?
Correct, yes.
I have no problem with it.
If Rodney's good, the sheriff maybe work out how we get the door open or something like that and get people in. I don't have any problem,
I would say it'd probably be either me or one of my staff.
probably.
Because generally when there's a bad storm, when these storms come through, I'm generally out, like driving through, checking everything anyway, so.
You're assuming you've got
Either me
Rodney's
or one of the guys would be
cell
here
phone number.
anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Not old enough to do that, us old men can get out and do that, you know.
Rodney's also the contact for the church as well, so,
Okay.
So I'll be down here
Yeah.
in this area anyway.
Okay.
yeah. And he'll know all the nooks and crannies to check too, and we can do that.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I'm cool.
so what will happen is, I just will have some signage for Rodney, or we'll just have it stationed here somewhere in your office, maybe. And if and when we do need to open it, he'll just put it on the door, maybe out front, whatever it may be, and that will just help direct.
We might wanna make it clear that this isn't an official restroom or something like that, so if the sun's shining and everybody is happy and drinking beer, that this.
Yes,
isn't-
we don't put it out unless,
Yeah,
until,
yeah.
until there
There's
is a
some
threat.
sort of emergency,
Correct,
yeah.
yes.
Wouldn't that be terrible coming in here and find the hallway full of beer cans?
Oh, boy.
You would hope that if the storm was that bad.
I was trying to think of other county buildings in this area that would be even more
The
thinking.
jail, but I'm not sure that's what they're gonna
Yeah.
I mean, there's the county attorney's office, but
3,000
again,
out of
it's.
county.
No, I don't think
No.
that.
We say 3,000 out of county, they ate all the baloney.
So,
Yeah,
the,
so there's just not much, I mean, there was the police department, but again, security
Yeah.
is an
yeah,
issue.
I don't know the city hall or what kind of security there.
I
Well,
spoke
that's
to, I did speak to Chad Bird
I
about City
think-
Hall, and he just said that it's just, it wouldn't be very conducive.
Got parking garages though,
Yeah.
which is a whole lot better than nothing.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Oh,
got
yeah.
the direct
That's true.
elements, I
Yeah.
mean,
First
there's
part
not
of the garage
garages
right down
in
here,
the
if you're in
vicinity,
the bottom of that.
which helps you get out of the way of debris and some stuff like
Yeah,
that. So
that's
there are
right.
some options that are beyond just buildings, cause you're right, you are limited down here.
But I agree with you that the auditorium will be a great option for
see
people,
what it is.
and they said that if we were welcome to use that.
Library, auditorium,
Yeah.
parking garage like that, some places like that. So,
So,
yeah,
that's it.
as long as you got a trip with the powers that be, doesn't sound like.
What else
any of
things
us
I
have
really
an issue.
hope doesn't happen?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's in my mind.
More than I even
Oh,
wanna
can't even
entertain thinking
imagine.
about.
Listen, the way that the start of my career here has gone, I'm gonna just think the worst and hope for the best, really.
Well, that's,
So
you're probably in the right business for that.
So, yeah, but thank you.
Okay, thanks, Shannon.
Thanks, Shannon.
Do you have some claims that need to be signed?
I do,
Okay. I'll shoot
and it's
across
my
the
daughter's preschool graduation, so,
What time's that?
at 1, so I'm
Well,
gonna
I will.
Make sure she gets in kindergarten.
I think she will.
I will shoot over there right now and sign those.
Right.
Every day.